want to start recording this idea where it's fresh in my mind so that I can get the idea out, as many parts of it as I can. Um, when it comes to sustaining a video game company, when it comes to sustaining the talent, it always comes down to money, and that's what the corporations offer. They offer a stable paycheck to someone that is doing something that productivity wise they're like, it's like research and development. They're going to be burning through a lot of cash up until the point that they produce the thing that gives the return on investment. So the corporation upfront pays upfront paychecks and stability, well, just paycheck, to keep those employees around, that talent around, so that they produce the product. And that's the part that's understood. So what I'm getting at and trying to say is, to sustain that talent, there needs to be a low tier option for, like, there needs to be a way for them to employ themselves, keep themselves employed, pay their bills while they are working. So I guess independence would be better. Not independence. Being an independent contractor, but then having more negotiation tools on your side than just being somebody that knows nothing, going up as a corporation that has thousands behind them, or however, even if it's just one person with a really big war chest, and then they can overpower that individual uh, independent contractor. So, because it's something that I've heard before when it comes to video game companies, is like they get the customers will have a problem with microtransactions being added into the game, and the counter argument from the corporation will be, well, we need to sustain our game, we need to keep it profitable, which is understood from the corporation's perspective. But from the gamer, it's just from the consumer of the product, you should always be demanding a higher quality product without any negotiation. It's like, for my corporation, no negotiation on an increase on the price of the cost. It's like, no, give me the same thing but better. If someone else can do that, then that kind of transaction isn't a problem. So it's a matter of offering the same thing but cheaper. Material costs is like, when it's something physical, it's harder to do. But if something is digital, I think it can be done efficiently. I hope it can be done efficiently. The whole reason I'm even saying this idea is off of that hope that you can, because if it's a video game making software like Unreal, Unity, or Godot, that is a weird name, but either of those, independent, open source, or free to use, like any video game making software that is free to use up until a point, I believe there should be a way, or I hope there is a way, to maintain a suite, just pulling out words out of my ass, but maintain a grouping of, there's always different. So it's like add-ons in some programs, it's packages and packs and modules and others, but a way to have basic functionality of the game available, openly talked about by everyone, even the casual participators in that particular genre. So just sticking with video games, there are several video game programs out there that people can use. There can be add-ons put onto those games to give it the basic functionality that you need. So if it's like a first-person shooter, movement, aiming, ammo, inventory, taking hits, delivering hits, capturing a point, driving a vehicle, operating hard points like a gun placement or a tactical advantage to the map that's not necessarily a point, so like different objectives, or just a straight up death match in which you come in with your kit, and also you have to be able to drop guns, pick up ammo, give ammo, give maybe health packs, so exchanging items between players, having your own personal inventory, and having a way to, and then it'll come down to keyboard support, controller support, uh, cross platform play. Because it's a little bit hard. I think it will be a little bit harder to do with consoles because they would keep a bottleneck on the technology you would need to have access to make it so that you could be an independent person and making the kind of modules that would be compatible with somebody else's system without breaking the warranty. But it'll be a lot easier to do with a home computer where it was like keyboard or mouse or a controller, and it's just up to what are you going to choose. And then how does the gameplay affect? It's like if you're working with a controller, someone else has a keyboard. What is the difference in competitive edge? I think that's the word for it. Because there are people that have said there's a difference, and I don't know if there actually is a difference, but I've heard people say it. So, pulling together all of those pieces, what I hope would have a good alternative. You know what? I think this would be a good way of wording it. It would be like um, a hobbyist's. There's a word for it. Like not general care, like universal income, that kind of health care, not health care, welfare. It'll be like a hobbyist welfare, and like this suite of, using that word again, but this group of free curated open source. So the same way that they're doing open source now, where it's kind of volunteer work, but because the programs are already there, and there's the skeleton of what's needed because of Unreal, Unity, Godot, Play Scribe, Scratch Scribe. There's so many video game engines, or make your own game engines on computers, Mac, PC, Linux, whatever operating system you have. There are so many of them out there that they all kind of do, and they're all different ones out there, and they all kind of do the same basic thing, in that they give you a framework or structure to then build games off of. And you have seen it where a game will be made in Unreal or made in Unity, and you're playing it on your console, and you're playing it on your PC, and you're playing it on whatever system that you have. So there's already a pipeline for the programs that you can put on your computer, making a game, and then that game being able to be pushed onto consoles and to any market that's out there. So there's already a pipeline for it, but the ones facilitating that pipeline are corporations, and they are all about profit. And I understand that, but it's on the personal level, people will be ass out, like with a company that they're making a game, it's a passion project, it becomes popular, and then gets bought out by a corporation because there's more money to be had, there's also more security. But then you have that corporation doing more, making changes to the game, the product that they now own because they bought it. They make changes to it to make it more in line with their profit scheme. But the profit margins, they make it profitable for them. Because it may be that they need this project to pull them out of a hole because another project that they bought into didn't work out in the way that they were hoping that it would, or whatever the case is. So there's already the framework in place. I hope there's already the framework in place for the hobbyists, the independent companies, the individual people like me. So put up or shut up. But I believe there is a solid idea there that infrastructure can be built upon, to where, let's say, a company is building a passion project, and like the niche that they're in doesn't give them sustainability for this. um, they can't make their career off of one game, but there's enough of an infrastructure around, enough of information about how to build those things that if you have a passion project, if you have a passion for, like the example that brought me to this in the first place, a tactical shooter. So where it's more about coordination with your team and how you use your equipment. I'm assuming, because I don't play those games myself, but I'm assuming it's going to be more about your kit and your skills than your KDR. So in that instance, whereas most people are going to want to jump in, kill, jump out, other people are wanting to be more coordinated about how they approach their gameplay. You can have it where the basic infrastructure of, like I was saying, you have your inventory, you have your reload of the weapon, you have your gun graphics, you have your walking, you have your just pointing down the corner, you have all your basic things that would go into a first person shooter. But then if you want a, how did, I think of the guys in the Total Biscuit, Spunk Goggle Wee Wee. If you want to have your quick twitch shooter, you can build that. But if you want to have your more slow, deliberate, tactical shooter, I guess, might be overestimating the difference in between them. But then again, I don't play in the genre, so I can't tell you. But there is a difference in between them, and the infrastructure for supporting those differences, I believe, can be built by the hobbyists, and that would give them a good position to fall back to. So the corporation comes along, takes your baby, cuts it up, throws it away. Well, you still got the basic components of a new baby to build, or you've got the basic components of the thing about the game you really enjoyed in the first place, which is the software that gave you the, that's the thing, like, oh, the mechanics in the game that you actually enjoy. So you have a suite again, but you have a grouping of modules, add-ons, whatever, that give you the mechanics of the game that you enjoy, so that you can have a place to fall back to where you still get the game that you enjoy, though most likely it's going to be a lot uglier than what, the AAA companies can put lipstick on a pig with. It's not putting lipstick on a pig, but they do unnecessarily shine things up and lose the substance. But I think maintaining the substance has to be done by independents, indies, hobbyists, people with a big mouth. So I hope that idea I'm trying to get to is in here. So I'm going to stop and listen back.